Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're thinking about buying a condo in inner city Calgary right now, you're going to want to watch this entire video because the latest real estate stats just dropped for April 2026. And honestly, there's some really good news buried in these numbers that most buyers are completely sleeping on. I'm going to break down three specific things the data is telling us right now, and more importantly, what each one means for you as a condo buyer trying to make a smart move in this market. But before we get into it, if you find this kind of content helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this information, and it takes you literally 1 second. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss videos like this one. I put out real data-driven content for Calgary buyers and sellers on the regular, so you don't want to miss it. All right, let's get into the numbers. Okay, so here's the first thing, and I think this is the one that's going to genuinely surprise people. Prices in the condo segment have actually been declining on a year-over-year basis, and that is not something we've been able to say for a while in this market. Let's look at the data. For apartments specifically, the benchmark price in April 2026 came in at $3,099. That is down 8.4% year over year. 8.4%. That's a meaningful price correction. As for row homes and townhouses, the benchmark price was $572,300, down 6.7% year over year. Now, if you've been watching this market for the last couple of years, you know that roughly 2022 through mid-2024, prices were climbing aggressively. Buyers who were sitting on the sidelines kept getting priced out. So to see this kind of correction happening, specifically in the condo space, is genuinely significant. Here's what this means for you practically. If you are looking at an apartment-style condo that was benchmarked at around $338 a year ago, and that's roughly what the data shows us for April 2025, you're now looking at the same type of property at around $3,099. That is roughly $28,000 difference. That is not nothing. That is a larger down payment. That is a lower mortgage payment. That is real money. And this price softening has been happening consistently for several months now. This isn't a 1-month blip. It's a trend. The year-to-date benchmark for apartments across the first 4 months of 2026 is sitting at $308,475, which is down 8.1% compared to the same period last year. For buyers who have been patiently waiting for some relief in pricing, this is that moment. The window is open right now. The second thing the stats are telling us right now is that inventory has increased meaningfully, and that is directly translating into more choice and more leverage for buyers. So the total residential inventory across the city center district in April 2026 sat at 1,387 units. The months of supply, which is basically a measure of how long it would take to sell everything currently listed at the current pace of sales, came in at 3.5 months overall. Now here's where it gets really interesting for condo buyers specifically. Apartment had months of supply of 4.4 months in April, and row homes and townhouses, it was 2.35 months. Why does this matter? Here's a quick primer if you're new to this. Generally speaking, real estate professionals consider anything under about 2 months of supply to be a seller's market, meaning sellers have the upper hand. Prices go up, conditions are waived, bidding wars happen. Anything over about 4 months tends to be a buyer's market where buyers have leverage, and somewhere in between is balanced. At 4.4 months of supply for apartments, we're sitting squarely in buyer's market territory for that product type. Sellers are not in the driver's seat right now. You are. What does that mean practically? It means you have options. You can take your time viewing properties without the fear of them disappearing overnight. You have room to negotiate on price. You have room to include conditions like a home inspection or financing condition that buyers in a hot market often feel pressured to waive. And sellers who are motivated are going to be more willing to work with you. Apartment inventory is up year over year, And the sales to new listing ratios for apartments came in at just 45% in April, meaning only 45 out of every 100 new listing coming to market actually sold. That tells you that there's a real surplus of supply out there. For someone who wants to buy a condo in inner city Calgary, this is honestly one of the better environments we've seen for buyers in years. All right, the thing I want to highlight is a stat that doesn't get talked about enough, and that is days on market, or DOM for short. In April 2026, the average days on market for total residential in the city center district came in at 39 days, and for apartments specifically, it was 45 days. Now, let me put that in context. Back in April 2024, just 2 years ago, the days on markets for apartment was sitting around 26 days. And in some of those really heated months of 2023 and 2024, we're seeing properties move under 30 days consistently. The fact that we're now sitting at 45 days for apartments means that on average, properties are sitting on the market for a month and a half before they sell. And that shift fundamentally changes the dynamic between buyers and sellers. Here's why this is good news for you as a buyer. When a property has been sitting on the market for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, sellers start to get antsy. Their expectations adjust. They become more open to negotiation. They're more likely to accept a conditional offer. They may be willing to adjust the price, cover some closing costs, or accommodate your timeline. When properties were selling in under 2 weeks, sellers had all the power. They could reject any offer that had so much as a financing condition attached to it. Multiple offers were the norm. Buyers were offering over asking just to get a shot at the table. That is not the environment we're in right now, at least not for condos in the inner city. And you've been burned by that kind of market before, or if you've been waiting on the sidelines because it just felt too chaotic and competitive, now is a very different story. Days on market numbers are telling you that the pace of this market has genuinely slowed, and slow markets favor prepared, patient buyers who know what they want. All right, that's a wrap on today's video. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button. It really does make a difference for the channel and helps me putting out content like this for free. And if you're serious about buying a condo in inner city Calgary and you want to make sure you're approaching it in the right way, I actually put together an exclusive guide specifically for Calgary's condo buyers. It covers what to look for, what to watch out for, and how to navigate this kind of market as a buyer. It's completely free, and I want to get it in your hands. All you have to do is DM me the words condo buyer to 403-875-2626. You can reach me in text or WhatsApp, and I'll get you that guide sent over to you right away. My name is Marino Coco. I'm a realtor with the John Ripko Real Estate Team and Royal LePage Benchmark. And I'm here to help you make a smart, confident move in this market. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.